to my Bandon Dunes course vlog. I'm excited to share all the footage from the resort with you guys and gals that are watching. Here are all the tee shots from hole number 1 at Bandon Dunes from the group of guys I went on the trip with. It was a wonderful drive down from Portland to Eugene, and then Eugene to the resort through the trees. It's a beautiful drive. I recommend anybody looking to go to the resort to go. It's just an amazing resort. From getting to the resort, driving up to the main lodge, and just, I don't know, there's something about it that was so awesome. That's the only way I can describe it. But we had 8 people going on the trip, but only 7 can make it eventually. One of them had to back out last minute. But here's my tee ball on hole number 1 here at Bandon Dunes. As you can tell, it's super windy. As you can tell, I'm using the voiceover because of the wind. And the wind blew my camera over once on this front 9, so this is going to be part 1. Here we are on my approach shot. There's Scotty the caddy. He's double bagging it. You can see the yardage there. I just wasn't comfortable over this shot, and there you see the little topper, and it runs up the slope, and it got around the bunker, thankfully. You see me celebrating there. There's Captain Taylor climbing the hill, the slope to number 1 green. And here in a second, you'll see where my ball's at. There we are. So you see my leg there. I hurt my calf like 5.5 weeks before the trip. Thought I wasn't gonna be able to go on the trip, but luckily it healed up good enough for me to be able to walk. And overall, we walked 40 miles on this trip. Here you are seeing the bump 9-iron, and there goes the camera. As the round went on, I figured it out how to set the camera up, lean it against the wind, and angle the camera where it was, level. Here we are with the par putt on number 1. Had a good look at it, just left the face open a little bit, and that's been my tendency. I don't stroke through it enough. But anyway, I'll take that bogey on the first hole after that topper second shot. Here's the walk to number 2, and I'm gonna put these type of things in these videos. For one, it helps me have memories of it. 2, people that have been there, they can have memories of saying, oh, I remember that walk. And then for the people that haven't been there, you're able to see what to expect when you go. Sorry for, I don't have a gimbal. I'm not very good with those gimbals. I bought one, but I just don't care for them, so I try to hold it as steady as I can with the tripod. I use the stabilizer in the video editor. But here we are on number 2, 175 yards with a 6-iron. And I hit this one pretty good, pretty solid. You can see with the shot tracer, it's right at it. Here's the walk up to number 2 green. There's Marty in the blue. He's the owner of Falcon Lakes, where I play and where most of my videos are filmed at. So it was nice for him to come with us on this trip. It was good to get to know him. Here we are with the reveal for number 2 green and how much slope there is. If you do miss it, it will fall off. So here's the birdie putt. Scotty had just told me, make sure you hit this one, and here's the result. I didn't hit it. All right, I'll take the par there, move on to hole 3. And again, here's some reveal stuff that I just enjoy showing to you. And again, I'm watching this while I'm talking. I just reliving the images and the visions, and it's just, I don't know, there's something about this place that was pretty special. It met every expectation. We developed this trip for a year and a half, and it met every expectation. It's a well-oiled machine the way they run their resort. Here's number 3, reveal. All the bunkering. Par 5 here. There's the part of our group in front of us. Look at the clouds moving. I thought I left this right. I didn't want to hook this with the wind too much, but I held the face off a little bit and the wind took it left, and it turned out to be a good drive. And there we are again. The two caddies were double bagging. So on this approach shot, it's about 200 yards, and the ball was below my feet. You can see the pin there. It's kind of in front of the green, left of that bunker. And there you go, 200 yards, 22-degree hybrid, which is kind of like my 4-iron. And that ball below my feet, I just didn't finish the swing good enough. Then stayed down and threw it and left it right. Luckily, the wind was blowing to the left, and it kept it from going in the gorse bushes. But here's what I have. Not a good leave. Look at that wind blow. So my thoughts here was just get this on the green somewhere and have a birdie putt at it. Oh, I wasn't trying to get it close. And especially out of the rough, this ball is not going to stop unless you throw it really high. And it was kind of a downhill lie. There's no way I was going to be able to throw that real high. So you'll see the result here in a second. There's the wooden rakes. Just wanted to reveal that bunker to you. And my ball is over on the other side of the green there. I have myself a birdie putt at it, but it's pretty long. There we are, fast walking. Scotty gave me a good read here. Here it comes in. All right, I'm pleased with just taking a par on that after getting out of position. And that's all you can hope in those situations, is try to secure that par when you're out of position. On to hole number 4, 362 yards. Here's the walk to it. I love those trees, so I wanted to show those. There's the gorse bushes. Do not touch those if you come to this resort. They're pretty sharp. Here we are walking up to the 4th tee box. There's Brian. Obviously in the afternoon it gets really windy there if anybody's done their research on this place, and we expected that, but our travel situation, we had to book this afternoon tee time for here because we weren't going to do 36 a day. We weren't going to put our bodies through that. We just wanted to take our time and enjoy the resort, be there for a decent length of time, 5 days of golf. So that was our decision as a group. Here, this hole is just deceiving to me. Really couldn't see the fairway off this tee with all the tall fescue. And I left this one out there because, again, I didn't want to hook this one with the wind and it'd have been gone. So I left it out there a little too much, and you're going to see the result here coming up on the dune there. Here's the reveal of what I got. And there's the ocean, man. Look at that. Beautiful. So Scotty wanted me to throw it to the right, let the wind bring it back, and just try to run it up on the green. You know, I'm out of position, ball's below my feet, and I kind of pulled that a little bit, and you'll see the result where it's at here. But here's the reveal coming down out of the dune. Look at that wind just blow, and the clouds, you can see the shadows. But just a beautiful, beautiful place. Look at that. There's the fellows in front of us, Joe, Doug, and Ryan. Look at his pants just blowing. Oh, Lord. Here's what I left myself. Another shot over the bunkers. You do not want to leave yourself those shots. So my thoughts here before Scotty came up to talk to me was just get it on the green and let it run up as close as I can to the pin. I knew it was going to release a lot, and there's not much you can do about it out of these tight lies. So he's showing me where to hit it. I think I put it too far back in my stance there, but I didn't want to skinny that thing and it runs off, on the other side of the green. But luckily I put it, and you're going to see here, Captain Nye's putt gives me a pretty good read on this. So there's Rich's putt, and you can see it breaking to the right with the wind and the slope at the end. Zooming in for you. And I'll be honest, I got away with that, hitting it a little too hard, but that's golf. You take those breaks. It would have been probably 5-6 feet by if it didn't go in the hole. But look at that. Just wanted to show everyone that, for myself, for the memories. There's the fellas. On to hole number 5, 400 yard, directly into the wind. That's a beast of a hole today. Beautiful. Again, I'm trying to hold this camera as steady as I can to film this, but it's hard to do. All right, got a good drive here on number 5. Over the little grass bunkers, if you want to call them that, the grass knobs. I like showing these people walking away. Good memories. You get to see the topography and just, again, the memories of it all. Hole number 5 approach. I think I was about 200 out. I was playing 230, we were calculating. So I went with the 3-wood. And I didn't square the face. And there she goes, up in the dune. So look where Brian was the most, I think, unluckiest when I played with him. He found himself in these predicaments probably, I'd say, 4 times. And that's about all you could do with it. But here's my ball. I did not go in the gorse bush, luckily. There's kind of the reveal of what I have. The pin there in the back right. And I put the camera in a spot right here to the side because to the back there was some bushes and I just couldn't get back there with the camera. And everyone else was doing their own thing, so they couldn't help record that. And that left leg, I stayed off that left leg, and luckily I cleared that bunker, and here's my putt for the par. All right, even though it wasn't on the green, I'll call that a 2-putt, so I'm happy with getting the bogey there and not doubling it. On to hole 6. Beautiful par 3. Look at that. Wow. So I started putting the tripod on the ground and then zooming in to try to help stabilize everything. But anyway, this was a brute of a hole, into the wind. You saw the graphic there, and I hit a good one. All right, there's the fellas. So on this, leaving the tee box on 6, the caddies, you can see Brian walking up to the right. They told us to go up here and look back at hole number 5. And so wait till you see this reveal from hole number 5. I think it's probably one of the most beautiful sights on the whole resort. Wow, look at that. So anyway, thought I'd share that with you. There's my putt coming up for birdie. So what's hard with the caddies is they give you some great reads, but you also want to try to trust your own instincts. And there was just times that, 1, filming, 2, like I said, you have someone else talking to you and telling you. It's just hard to completely get engaged with what they're telling you at times. But it's a great experience to have the caddies. They do help you, so please get a caddy when you go. But for me, with the filming, trying to play golf and play, as good as I can, because that's just what you do. And Uh, Also, have a relationship with the caddy to where you guys can work together. It's a great experience, but those are the negatives if I was to tell you anything. So on this hole, you can't see the fairway there, but they were saying aim at that left side of the fairway and just let the wind bring it back. And so I did, and the guys before me hit one on similar lines, but you'll see where my ball ends up here after I show you this reveal coming up the path. But that wind took it all the way across, pretty much like Scotty said, the caddy, 100-yard wide fairway. And you'll see it here in a second. All right, there's the approach to 7. And if you miss this green, you're falling off these slopes. So you got to make sure you take enough club. And I think I took a 7-iron here from like 140. And it still wasn't enough, as you'll see when we get up here. I didn't strike it that well either, but, I got up above that slope here that I'm walking up. And again, with my calf muscle, it didn't hurt. It just wasn't strong like it should be. But luckily I was able to come on the trip with the fellas and get this footage for everyone and share it with all the people that follow me as well as people that come across my channel. So Scotty gave me a good read here, and I just did not hit it. Oh well. See, I'm laughing because everyone I think was calling me Sally or something like that. But on to hole number 8. This, to me, visually off the tee, was one of my favorite holes on Bandon Dunes, especially for an inland hole. Probably because you'll see here in a second with the bunkering. And here, I just want to take that shot so you can see the mountains way back there, and then the lodge. But there's the bunkering. I don't know, there's just something about this hole that was pleasing in my eye, and that's probably what it was. Look at the clouds just moving. Love it. This was my best drive of the so far on that side, I felt. I think I'm about 50 yards out maybe. We'll see 50 yards there. 9-iron bump. That's what Scotty suggested. Just run it back there as far as I can. And again, this is the first round, so it's kind of hard to gauge how to do this. We practiced a little bit over at the practice center, but we didn't have much time to do it, maybe an hour. So I hit a pretty decent one here. Scotty got the ball out from the bag and wanted to try it as well. He's got a good action here, but he just didn't hit it hard enough. I'd like to see him play, see how good of a player he is. And here's Brian over by the gorse bush. Strike 1. But he got that one going. All right. This is for birdie. There's Pacific Dunes clubhouse in the background. And it's tracking. All right. Good read by Scotty. Pound to Rich. Camera bag. On to hole number 9. So I birdied 8. And on to 9, as you saw, it's a par 5, and it's downwind. I'm thinking, okay, try to get back-to-back birdies here, and just got to hit a good drive first. So Scotty gave me the line there. It was off those flags, I believe, that were near the clubhouse, and I hit another good drive. So I was pleased with those back-to-back drives. Just wanted to show everyone this bunker. How beautiful, just the setting. And then here's what I got. So I'm down in that drainage area, and I just didn't feel comfortable with the stance, with the leg. And you can see the flags in the front part of the green, that front left. And Scotty was, I think we were saying, there you go, 180. And he said 9-iron, if it hits short, it's going to run. So, again, it's hard to trust that. But anyway, again, I talked to you about the stance down on this hole. It's kind of, I got to get to that left side, and I was struggling doing that early on in this round. And I didn't do it good enough there, pulled up and out of it. But this ball runs all the way to the back of the green. Now, you're not going to see that on the next shot because there was a recording error. But this is where my bump and run ends up, and it was probably like a 40-yard shot. That's where it ended up. So this is my putt for birdie. And I pulled it a smidge. You see it break back, and I just pulled it a smidge. Scotty read it right. But anyway, thanks for watching part 1 of the Bandon Dunes course vlog. Here we are on hole number 10. This is where you're going to see the round get a little brutal with the conditions. Not so much on this hole, but it's coming. As you can see it sweeping in. But anyway, hole 10, par 4, 339 yards. See how I start out this back 9. All right, hit a good drive. Wind's bringing it back left. Now I was wondering, should I hit the driver as far as I can up there? There's Captain Nye. The wind blowing him off balance. There's the in the background. But anyway, here's Richie's shot in. I was thinking maybe I should lay up back to there and have a full swing in. So you're going to see, I set the camera up right here. Here's Richie's shot coming in. But I set the camera up right here because you wouldn't be able to see down there where my ball was going. And so I set it up there to record, and I hit such a bad shot, and this is where I ended up. To the right, the recording didn't pick it up. I thought maybe I'd hit a little better one in there and you'd see it roll. But so I was a little perturbed with that shot, and I didn't gauge the speed on this one. And there she goes. Shaking my head on that one. Yep, just gave that a little pull, I think. Limpity limp along there. All right, bogey on that hole when I should have had a better birdie opportunity. Again, you know, should I lay further back, go down there as far as you can? I don't know. I just should have probably made a better shot coming in, but it was a blind shot, big, huge mound in front of me. So if I was to play that hole again, I'd probably lay back a little further. Here you see hole 11, 351 yards. All right, another good drive. Time to move on. Couldn't find that tee. There's that pin just over that bunker to the left of it. Look at the wind blow. So over this approach shot, I never was comfortable with the yardage and the playing to yardage with that club. I thought maybe I should hit the 5-iron, but I was hitting the 22-degree hybrid like the 4-iron. I just never got completely comfortable over it. Swing was out of sync, and I pulled it. Pull draw with that wind added the spin. And I'm way over here, left of the green, as you can see. And my goal here was just try to bump it into that hill and let it release down to the flag because it slopes down. And I just didn't hit it good enough, as you're going to see here in a second. Started to ruin it for you. But that's a beautiful looking shot, though. The clouds rolling by. Because there's one of those shots you don't want to hit it too far because then there's bunkers on the other side of that green that it will roll off into. So it was just a delicate shot. So here's what I got coming in. Trying to throw this a little bit high, but not low, and just to have a little bit of a check. And it checked a little bit, but not as much as it's hard to get the check out of there, out of these tight lies anyway, especially at my skill level. Here's the putt for bogey, and good looking double there on the card. On to hole 12, beautiful golf hole here. And this is kind of where it got got a little dicey with the camera as far as the mist coming in from the ocean. Trying to zoom in here, and it blurs out, as you can see. And that's just, I wiped the lens, and it still was getting blurry on it. So it is what it is. But anyway, we went with like a little punchy 8-iron down here so the wind wouldn't affect it as much. And I executed it. And again, how many times the ball releases in these situations, and it should have ran on the green, and it did not, as you will see here. But I was overall pleased with it, where it ended up. But I just didn't execute this putt. I'll be honest with you, I was waiting on the people. The double bag caddies can be. He had my club, so I had to wait to get my putter, and so by the way, I missed that putt. The recording error. Someone pushed the button that was helping me, and I missed the putt for par. Part of it was, again, like I said, the double bags. There's the blurriness again on the lens, but again, the double bagging. Good for them to make that money, but it takes away from the experience because you're waiting for them to get over to you. And then I was waiting for my putter on that one. I'm not dogging them by any means. I'm just telling you what we talked about on the trip is the double bags take away from the experience. And I get it. They were shorthanded on caddies, so the double bags and those guys get to make extra money. I get it. Hey, I'm all for that. But I'm just good drive there down the right side, hit the slope and kick left. And you do not want to miss right on this green on this approach. I tried, but the wind was blowing hard that way, and oh well, it ended up where it ended up, down in the slope. I remember from the USAM, you wanted to miss it left, and you'd have a better look into the green. So there's what I have looking up, and you're going to see here in a second. But again, back to the double bag caddies. Again, I'm not dogging that, but I'm just telling you the experience that we all talked about is it just wasn't. When I had a single bag caddy, I think the last 2 or 3 days, it was just a much better experience. All right. Scotty was giving me a gauge there, and I pull it here a little bit from where he was telling me to hit it. But overall, I was pleased with where it ended up. Have about maybe a 12-footer for birdie. And again, little Yankee Doodle dandy. By this time, I'll be honest with you, my calf was hurting a little bit. First day of playing, and then walking, and then the travel that we took. I was just getting a little fatigued. Hole 14. Beautiful hole with that dune setting where the green sets right into the dune. And this was one of my favorite holes on the course, too, as far as visually. Not a long hole, but, the bunkering out there can be a problem. Trying to get balance with that wind. And woo! Overall, it wasn't too bad. It just cleared that bunker, and it just ran, as you know, out there. And it ran into this bunker that was far on the left side of the fairway. But here's the approach shot. Those guys up there, you can see the red flag right below them. That guy's up there in the tall grass. But Scotty was giving me yardage, and then he had to hike over to the other, to Brian. I believe he's carrying Brian's bag this round. And he's giving me instruction there. And this ended up being probably one of my best shots on this opening round of golf, especially out of the bunker and that distance with the wind the way it was. And there we go. There's the result. Now here's one of those putts coming up where if I didn't have the caddy, I probably wouldn't have read this much break. So it's good to have caddies in that regard, especially, and I didn't hit it hard enough to stay on that line. But again, I'll take a par after that bad drive. Yep. On to hole 15. I remember this, there's the walk up to it. I remember this hole from the U.S. Amateur. You do not want to miss it well right, and you don't want to go long left. This is just a tough hole. And with the wind conditions like they were, it was 130 some yards. Pin was kind of up front, but I'm telling you, I'm hitting the 22 degree hybrid here. So like my 4-iron. So we were gauging it at about 190 to 200, believe it or not. And I was trying that little punchy shot again, and it was coming towards the flag, and it hits the slope. and you're gonna see the results. See me, see my it hit that slope and ran down there, and you can see the dew and mist on the lens, and that's where my ball ended up down here. Look at that wind whip. Hey, it was a great experience to experience this much wind in the British Open type courses. So, yeah, I'm glad I did it. Hit a good shot here, bounced it up onto the green, and gave myself a putt for the par here, that one up the hill there to the left. And I didn't hit it. All right, on to hole 16. As anybody that's done research with this resort knows, this is a very unique looking hole. It's one of the, if you want to call it the signature hole of Bandon Dunes, most photographed, whatever you want to call it. It was a cool hole. Look at that. I wish it was sunny during that shot, but at the same time, again, to experience those conditions with the wind, the ocean mist, the marine layer, as they called it, it was a pretty cool experience. And this was a 22-degree hybrid, and again, this ball rode this hard ground, and I missed the gorse bushes to the right here, probably about 5-6 yards, and that's what I got. Got to punch it up there, a little run up there.
Probably like to keep you over that divot.
And we decided to go with we thought the 9-iron, since I've executed that a couple times already in this round. And in this case, you'll see here, I just caught it too well, and there she went. I was worried that this one was going to run off into the ocean, but there's what I got. So I'm happy it ended up there. Gives me a chance to, still make a par. And I had to set the camera up that angle because, as you know, it wouldn't have been a good shot to put the camera down there. And everyone else was doing their thing, so I didn't want them to mess with filming for me. And that's one hard thing about the filming. These guys help me out a lot, but I hate bothering them all the time. They already do a lot putting up with the camera. So, but here are these guys right before me knocking it in. So the lid is off the hole. So let's see what I can do. Just missed it. And again, look at the misery. Oh, and a funny story there is those guys all had shorts on because on the drive up it was warm when it was inland. And then when they get to the course and see how chilly it is when the wind's blowing, they all changed into pants. And I had already switched into shorts. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stick with the shorts. Because on the front nine, it really wasn't that bad. It's just when we hit like hole number 12 is when it got really chilly. All right, hole 17, panoramic view there. So this one, I think this is a 3-wood, and I just wasn't comfortable with this club selection, and I didn't execute. And it's kind of a topper flyer, and it probably only went like 120 yards. But there's what I got left, like 250, I think. So I just take a club to get it back out in the fairway and try to wedge it in from there. And again, it's this uphill little slope, and it's not good for that left leg right now. There's that marine layer and clouds running through. All right, so I'll take that shot. And I got like 100 yards in right here. I think I chose, I think it's the 50-degree wedge, and I could hit that about 110, 115, but here we go. I thought the wind would take it further right, and I must have put, I pulled that left, so that spin, it didn't help, didn't let it go to the right. So here's what I got left for the par. This was a tough little read up this slope and then back down. Scotty did a good job there, helped me read that one.
Here's the putt for bogey. All right, there's a preserve in the background with those guys you saw up there. So not a lot of blue on that card for my bogeys. But here is hole 18. There's the beautiful clubhouse. And they're wanting me to aim left of the main clubhouse, almost at that far left building. So that's the aiming point there. There's Captain Taylor. Wasn't too happy with it, as you can see. All right, I'm trying to gut this one out and finish strong. All right, I was happy with that drive. You see these deer, there's wildlife all over every time, and they rarely move or run from you, so it's pretty awesome. Here's the fellas walking. I like those views, beautiful. So I'll go up the 3-wood, try to get up there as far as I can, especially with these wind conditions. I think I was like 290 out or something like that. And I yanked this one, and it counteracted the wind. The wind probably stopped it from going further left, but Scotty says there's a sliver of fairway, as you see. Not a bad look in. So on this shot, Scotty's telling me, again, try to use that punchy 9-iron and let it run when it hits. And so he gave me that visual, and I put that in my head. I put that in the feel of my swing here. And let's see if I can execute. There we go, a little punchy shot. And you're going to see the result. It's running up right now. Pretty good. You're going to see the result here in a second. He's happy with it. Club exchange. And here's the zoom in for it. Scotty's in the way, but he's happy for me. There we go. There's the zoom in. So I'm very pleased with that. That's going to give me a good birdie look after, some not so stellar shots coming in. And there it comes in at the right. I pulled a little bit. Obviously I didn't hit it. It's not going to go in if you don't hit it. But anyway, par on number 18. Great experience at Bandon Dunes Golf Course. The resort is amazing. Thank you for watching. This channel is about bringing awareness to PTSD and the fire service and my first responder brothers and sisters. So again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for all the other courses coming in the coming weeks. Love you all. Thank you.